So we're officially in the middle of Christmas season, and I figured what a better time than now to share my picks for the greatest Christmas movies of all time. We'll be looking at 7 Christmas movies I consider to be the best for a variety of reasons, such as how entertaining they are, how well they are filmed, but more importantly, how they capture the spirit and various other aspects of the Christmas season. As with any list, this will all be purely subjective, but without wasting any more time, let's jump right into my picks for the 7 best Christmas movies. Going to work is rough for most of us, all the time, but something about going during the holiday season is especially trash. It's the last thing I know I want to do, but every now and then, a decent employer will do something festive to help spread that holiday cheer to their employees. Now, this could be in the form of a secret Santa, a lunch, or even a Christmas party. And having been to a few Christmas parties at the office, I could only wish they were like the one thrown in Office Christmas Party, the movie. To a certain degree anyway, because things get outrageous, but in the best way possible. The film explores what employees could look like if they actually were given the opportunity to let loose. And while most of it is over the top, it makes for a pretty immersive, entertaining, and hilarious watch. It's got one of the most stacked comedic ensembles with Jason Bateman, TJ Miller, and Jennifer Aniston leading the way. Say what you want about it, but this is one of the most fun films you can watch during the Christmas season. While we would all love for Christmas to be one of the most relaxing and joyous times of the year, Four Christmases tackles 2 aspects of it that aren't the most relaxing and joyous, which are traveling and spending time with family members you don't necessarily get along with. While on the surface, Four Christmases is pretty silly.
Yeah, that's great, dude.
It does tackle some pretty real themes, with the biggest one being that spending time with family isn't easy for everyone. And sometimes during the holiday season, many more or less feel obligated to do so. The traveling aspect can also be grueling for many, and Four Christmases captures both of these aspects in a pretty realistic, albeit obnoxious kind of way. And it's obnoxious in the most hilarious way, as Vince Vaughn once again uses his near-perfect comedic timing to deliver some real laugh-out-loud moments. And for me, this is definitely a film that's in rotation every year around Christmas time. In terms of dark comedies, Bad Santa is one of the best that there is. It expertly pairs comedy and crime.
No, it's a joke. An adult joke for us adults.
While using Christmas as its backdrop, it shows that even during the most beautiful time of the year, there's always something slimy going on in certain pockets of the world. Billy Bob Thornton was perfectly cast as this miserable alcoholic thief who clearly has had a rough past. And while it's his performance that makes for some of the most hilarious moments in the film, he isn't the only one who shines here, as the overall cast is funny in this movie. And we also get introduced to this fucking kid who, once you see, you'll never be able to unsee. And the dynamic between these two help us actually see who our main character really is underneath all of his misery, forcing us to feel for even one of the most vile and unlikable protagonists. While dark in tone, the film is, dare I say, a little lighthearted in many ways, and it's without a doubt funny. And if you still need a little convincing, the legend Bernie Mac is in it. Do I really need to say anything else? So I don't think you can speak of Christmas movies without mentioning Home Alone. Macaulay Culkin's Kevin McAllister is perhaps one of the greatest Christmas movie characters of all time. Hell, maybe even one of the best movie characters in general. Like many movies on this list, this is one of the most quotable films you'll find, and its story manages to take a pretty sinister concept and actually make it hilariously entertaining. I personally grew up with it in the 90s, and I haven't gone too many holidays without watching it since then. I mean, I definitely don't have much else to say about this one other than it's a pure classic and a must-watch during Christmas time. Alright, so I'm probably gonna get some flack for this one, but let's get it out of the way now. No, I don't think It's a Wonderful Life is the greatest Christmas movie of all time, like most lists will probably say. Now, what I cannot deny is that this is probably the most important Christmas film on this list. Not just in terms of its stellar filmmaking, which granted it 5 Oscar nominations, by the way, but mainly because of its themes. As you've been able to see, all of the movies on this list have important themes, but I find this movie's theme of never taking the life and all we have to be grateful for granted to be the most important. And it's as cliche as it is profound, as many of us go through life dissatisfied sometimes, losing sight of all of the good things we have or have accomplished. The themes in It's a Wonderful Life essentially serve as the template for many of the films we watch today. My only knock against the movie is that I don't personally consider it a Christmas movie. But we do get a glimpse of the holiday towards the very end, just in time for our main character to see all the good and feel all of the love that actually exists within his life. And that's a message I think we can take with us daily, but especially around the holiday season. Chevy Chase has given us some pretty classic films, but none have been quite as iconic and as impactful as National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. My dad introduced me to this film when I was a kid as one of the best comedies he had ever seen.
You taught me everything I know about exterior illumination.
And he's a pretty tough audience, so that says a lot, and he wasn't wrong. Its comedy was nearly unmatched for its time, but still holds up over 30 years later. It has some of the most memorable film moments, and without a question, some of the most memorable comedic performances. Most specifically from Randy Quaid as Cousin Eddie. Just saying the dude's name or thinking of his character makes me laugh. The film also manages to perfectly capture that feeling of being an adult who just wants the holidays to be great, regardless of all of the curveballs life throws at us. It's truly a classic for a reason. One of the films I can say I genuinely love, and I'm honestly shocked it's not my number one choice here. So I'm willing to bet that nobody thought that the silly Will Ferrell movie would become the holiday staple that it is. Or at least I know I didn't, but here we are. Elf is at the very least an entertaining Christmas comedy, but I also find it innovative and original. It's well written and directed, but most noticeably, wonderfully acted, and it might possibly be Will Ferrell's best acting to date. And it's without a doubt his most popular character. Elf also successfully captures the Christmas spirit while still being able to tackle some pretty mature themes, such as how many of us take for granted the time we spend with our loved ones. Most Americans, myself included, spend more time at or on their careers than they actually do with their families. And it's heartbreaking to say that I relate to this as much as I do. And while that aspect of the film does hit home, Elf tackles these themes while keeping its funny, cheerful, and merry tone, but most importantly remaining enjoyable for the entire family, regardless the generation. This alone makes Elf worthy of being considered the best Christmas movie of all time. So there you are, everybody. That pretty much wraps up my picks for the 7 best Christmas movies. But looking back at it, there are so many Christmas films to choose from. I would love to hear what films get you all in the Christmas spirit. What do you consider to be the best Christmas movie of all time? Let me know in the comments below. As always, it would be good to hear from you. I appreciate you all for the continued support, and if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button at any time and join the community. I have more content coming for you soon. And if I don't get a chance to talk to you all again before Christmas, I will see you in 2024 with more film analysis, lists, and new content in general. There's a lot to look forward to. You guys be safe out there, have a great holiday, and I'll catch you soon.